right, welcome everyone to the Tuesday afternoon Advocate News meeting. I'm editor and publisher Chris Cobbler on this chilly day. Got chilly out there. With me as always to my left.
I'm Becky Cooper, managing editor.
And to my right.
Tony Belanger, city editor. Won't we have chili tomorrow?
Yeah, chilly tomorrow at our newsroom potluck, and I need it today. I ate out at the family table for lunch today. It's out Clavin. That's a good place. I don't know why I don't go there more often because you get plenty of food for the money and it's good food.
What was the special there? Fried chicken?
Fried chicken. And the meatloaf is really good too. It's a buffet. It's a buffet. Yeah, it's plenty to eat and they take care of you there. But behind the camera.
Thomas Martinez, digital editor.
Yeah, and no endorsement from or advertising money from Family Table for that endorsement. How's that? But
a good place to eat. They have good chicken and dumplings.
I like
you
locally
can
owned
do the
place.
Taqueria.
Yeah.
They have a Mexican food buffet every day. Even on the weekends, they have a breakfast buffet.
Nice. All right. Well,
I ate leftovers from this weekend's fireman's barbecue. If that helps you, you can still donate to the firemen if you want in Yoakum.
All right. Well, I'm just going to get the explanations out of the way. I got Pat already joined us. We come on every weekday to hear from you, our legions of viewers, so just type in whatever's on your mind, and we'll get back with you either if we see it as we're talking or after the news meeting. We'll try to respond to it, but jump in. We get you warmed up. Everybody signed on. We have a trivia question. I love the history question since newspapers are the first draft of history. So I've always enjoyed my history classes in school. Who was the first U.S. president to have a telephone installed in the White House?
Good question.
Not
I have a
interesting.
guess.
What
No.
year did the telephone come to be?
Alexander Graham Bell.
And Watson, come here.
I will say Grover Alexander.
Grover. He was the first
Are
one to
you
get
married
married.
to
He was the
people?
first one to get married in the White House. Grover
Cleveland.
Cleveland Alexander.
Yeah.
I think you were trying to think of an old famous baseball pitcher too, weren't you? But anyway, Grover Cleveland Alexander was the first one married in the White House, and he had a daughter while he was in the White House, born. Her name was Ruth, which is where the candy bar Baby Ruth came from.
Oh, so it's baseball.
Oh, so it wasn't the baseball player.
No.
It was
from-
actually a baby Ruth.
It was a Baby Ruth.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little fun. I always found that a fun little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Grover Cleveland's kid?
Yeah. Grover. Yeah. So.
The man who he got in the White House twice.
Is that right? For 2 different terms?
Yeah, there's a president.
Non-consecutive?
There's a president
Yeah,
between.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they can't do that anymore.
Why can't they?
I think he's still serving.
Yeah, 8 years.
8 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he served one. Well, wait a minute. That rule didn't come along until FDR, and that was well after Grover Cleveland.
Yeah, but again, the FDR rule was you can serve no more than 2 terms. It doesn't say anything about consecutive. So you could serve and then serve again later. So I have 8 years total. I don't.
Good. Okay.
But Pat McDonald says in the late 1800s, but that's actually I know that's the period in time when I get fuzzy on my sequence of presidents. I don't know why that is. Okay, Lincoln, Grant's in there. So my guess would be Grant.
Well,
That was my grant.
Woodrow Wilson was president during World War One.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
19.
Well, that's pretty late to get the phone in, isn't it?
My old man was born 100 years ago this year. That was Woodrow Wilson's term.
There was who got McKinley in there? I don't know who else is in that time frame. That's terrible that I'm forgetting who my.
You think there was a lot of hoopla at the turn of the century, as it was during 2000?
1900s, I imagine. But who's your guess? We both guessed Grant, so I guess we can guess the same thing. But
Ulysses Grant?
yeah, was the president when the first phone was installed in the White House?
Oh, it has to be after that.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you think then?
Oh,
I just know that it was under Grant when James West and Artemis Gordon would travel around in the Secret Service train, protecting the president.
because
Yeah, the Wild Wild
McKinley
West.
was assassinated.
Yeah, so was it McKinley? You gonna guess that? What do you guess? What do you guess, Tom?
I'm going to
I
guess
made my
Theodore
guess.
Roosevelt.
What'd you say?
Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Grover
I'm
Cleveland.
going to guess Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt. Okay. So, Pat, you have a guess? Let us know.
That's That's the early 1900s.
You just looked it up? No, I don't.
That's not
Oh.
fair.
I didn't look it up. What are you talking
She
about?
Pat did.
Yeah,
Oh.
Pat did.
no,
Pat
do not
did.
say that. So
Uh,
you're not allowed because you can see the answer.
Yeah.
I can't see her answer right now.
All right. All right, Pat. No more Googling. We're gonna make that rule. Not until we get to the end. Then you can Google. All right, but
I won't look
in
at
terms
the
of
screen
news,
then.
in terms of news, we have a story Jessica's doing, an environmental
As long as
story
it's
about
fine.
a recent study, environmental study about flaring, relates to our area and what that does to the air around us.
Makes it yucky.
Kira was at.
That's the second graph.
Oh, was it? Oh, so you answered a question? I thought you said you looked it up.
It's just her guess.
Oh, that's your guess. Her guess. It's not just a guess. I can say it.
Okay.
Her guess is Rutherford B. Hayes. There's a forgotten
Hayes.
president.
Wow.
That is a forgotten president for sure.
Oh, Rutherford B. Hayes. So much was accomplished under it.
Oh, B. Hayes. That's my Austin Powers impersonation. All right. Oh, B. Hayes.
Oh, behave?
Right. All right. So, Kara was at the county commissioners meeting in which, as I understand it, of interest to the Advocate building, that the commissioners delayed a vote on the purchase of the building for 2 weeks till next Monday, not a week from Monday. They said they want to just work out the contract language to make sure it's clear that that Rebuild Texas is allowing them to do whatever they want in the future with this front half of the building, which I thought was spelled out in the contract already, but I'm no lawyer, so. But,
So will we move our plaque in the little place of
well, move, sure.
historic thing, or
And the letters
or
will come
It
down.
goes with our business more than the build. They can put one in front of the building as a plaque, but the big thing about the business is goes with our business. Yeah. Anyway.
I saw people reading it over the. I came in real quick to print out something, and I saw people reading it, and I almost said,
Yeah.
"You want to come on in and look at the building?"
Sure.
But I
You
didn't
can
know-
be friendly.
I didn't want to be.
Be friendly.
Too
Oh, we got a 12 board meeting
hospitable.
soon. We got to keep moving.
Okay.
The other commissioners' agenda item, I don't know what they talked about,
They
was
approved it.
the UTMB. They're going to keep using UTMB for
Yeah,
the,
even though the increase is substantial, the sheriff's office says it still saves them money.
Okay, so UTMB will continue to provide medical services at jail.
Jail, yes.
Okay. Then the council meeting tonight, we're supposed to have the mayor talk about Harvey Recovery Fund.
Yeah, can be.
And fire contract with the county's coming back around. It's been contentious at times. I don't know what the latest is being discussed. Then we have quite a few good entertainment stories, including on the internationally acclaimed cellist and Sony music artist who's playing at the Fine Arts Center Sunday with the Victoria Symphony.
Yes, I'll
Saturday,
be there.
Saturday, sorry.
I will be there.
Saturday, and she did the music for Wonder Woman, I'm told. Is that right?
Yes, and for a lot of video games too.
That's
Kenya
where.
Pro? Is
Yeah.
that how you pronounce it?
I
Got
don't
some neat
know.
contributed art of
I've
her.
heard Go.
In sad news, there's a weekend traffic fatality in which a Yorktown man died. We have a short item on that. We got an interview with the fourth candidate for mayor, Steve Meacham. He's a financial advisor, and Amber has all the details on him. She also has details on the three candidates who filed all on Friday for District 7 and VISD. Construction company manager Mike Mercer, Wood Farms owner Henry Wood.
The way I talked to her about that is I know we did initial stories of the
Yeah.
plans, but this is sort of
Who they are. Yeah.
an intro take two
Yeah.
with their words.
And David Steves, a quality lab technician. Definitely. Then we got a short item on the owner of Miller Seafood in Port Lavaca who's talking at the Lavaca Bay Foundation meeting. And Good Living is Catherine Pope's column this week.
Yes,
What's she cooking?
she wrote about her trip to Nashville, and she wrote about Presley.
Elvis Presley and how much he ate, like everything.
No, Presley banana. Something banana pudding.
Does it really have Presley's name attached to it? Elvis
Well,
is-
that's what was on a menu she found, I guess.
Elvis.
Well, she talked about eating at Woolworth at 5th, which was the location of the famous sit-in, the counter.
Yeah.
And
So Elvis's banana pudding.
Pretty much peanut butter. Oh, that's it. Peanut butter banana pudding.
Peanut butter tomorrow.
He liked peanut butter banana sandwiches.
Yeah, you do.
Peanut butter banana pudding, and the picture looks really good. I'd like to try it. And
I don't know if you.
but she also made a. She also threw in an alternative item, and I forget what that was.
If Elvis, if you eat a lot of peanut butter banana pudding, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of shaking going on after that.
Yeah.
No, that's Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah. Well, with Presley, it was a whole lot of wobbling.
Oh yeah.
But she
Don't
was
be
in
cruel.
Nashville. Yeah, I'll be tender. I'll be very tender about it. She was there that week. Throw me off now.
It's all right, it's all right.
She was there during the week of the anniversary of the sit-in, and she ate at that diner, and of course it's been all refurbished and everything. But the
What's
diner's
on the
still
special there?
I'd love to go there.
Probably
Sit-in pudding?
They have a they have a
Yeah.
brunch special,
Yeah.
and one of them was
Civil rights BLT. I mean, what is it? I don't know.
there's an eggs Benedict, but it had a twist to it.
Eggs Benedict. All right, what's on the good
Big
column?
Eggs Benedict.
Be a good column. You're gonna have to read it tomorrow. Buy your.
She has
Spend your
pictures.
75 cents.
She has pictures of the Woolworth restaurant,
Yeah, neat.
and
Neat column.
I think that would be a great getaway to go to Nashville and
Nashville's a cool place.
eat at that counter. Because just think of all the hardship of people trying to demonstrate during this height of the civil rights movement. They were just humiliated there.
Well, all of our good living items, including the restaurant inspection report, which you need to.
Oh,
have
one
on-
little footnote.
All right.
One of the servers there, her grandfather.
They're not gonna buy the paper if you tell them everything.
Her grandfather was an actual sit-in participant. Anyway,
What's that? Somebody says, thanks, Tony, now I don't have to read the story?
Wait a minute. All right.
no, Catherine Pope tells it more eloquently.
All right, good. Then in sports, we got Victoria West playoff game against Flower Bluff. Is that girls basketball?
Girls basketball.
Yeah, girls
Because
basketball.
boys playoffs don't start till next week.
Yeah, and we got St. Joe playoff, which is boys, I believe. They're the number 2 ranked team. They're playing. Where are they playing? I don't know. They're playing with Chamberlain shooting photos. Got West baseball, West softball, area pairings, East soccer, West soccer,
Wow.
Shiner playoff basketball game at West. They're not playing West, but I guess they're playing at the West gym. I guess that's it. Huh. Interesting. The
Southwest
state.
Airlines in the news again.
What's the latest to them?
Federal officials have told Southwest Airlines to fix the way it calculates the weight of luggage loaded on flights after finding frequent mistakes.
They just have the scale. They're rigging the scale.
No, but I know for some reason they have to calculate the weight aboard the plane, the passengers and luggage, and I don't know what that does to the dynamics of flying, but I'm sure it does, has significant
If the
influence.
plane's too heavy, it's gonna.
Always makes me a little
Right.
nervous if they really like one suitcase is gonna throw off the weight of the plane. Like, wait a minute, this
Well,
is
I'm
kind of a
sure it's
tenuous operation we
far
got
more
going
than
on.
that.
But you know, when they get on the speaker and they ask for 2 people or 1 person to get off, and the skinniest people on the plane get off. You know? But it's
Well, you know, when I was leaving on one of the flights when I went back to Kansas City.
When you were leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah. Stop! So, as I was saying,
You were going to Kansas City. You were going to Kansas City. Going to Kansas City.
Okay,
Kansas
back
City,
and then
here
back.
I come.
I was passing the flight attendants,
I know a pretty
and they were
little girl
talking
there.
about how the cockpit, the crew were discussing on how unclear the control tower was to them, because they were a little irritated by because they overheard the dialogues, and they were really pissed because the air traffic control people weren't clear on some things.
I
I'm
kinda
like, well, I'm glad we're on the ground.
What runway to take off on?
I don't
Take off
know.
on the runway that the planes are landing on?
Tony, is everything up to date in Kansas
Roger
City?
Victor.
Have they gone about as far as they can go in Kansas City?
Yeah, first they can go.
They got a big theater. They call it Burlicue.
The Burlicue.
For 50 cents, you can see a dandy show. No, you're not.
I meant to ask both of you guys if
No,
If
but
there was a special Payless shoe store in Topeka when you were growing up,
Yeah, that's how
Like the
headquarters.
headquarters,
My
yeah,
sister worked there.
was there
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
Right out of
big?
college.
oh yeah, they're based in Topeka, aren't they?
Yeah, based in Topeka. My
I thought
sister
they
was
just
in their
moved,
marketing
too.
department.
Didn't they
No
just
more.
move?
Good
Oh.
thing she left that job like 30 years ago. But she foresaw their problems, and she foresaw Amazon, and invested
She get in on the ground floor.
She
then?
invested in it before it even was
You know,
formed.
do you remember the Reason? Is it Riser Food Plant or Food Reason?
No, I don't know that one.
They built a huge plant way out.
There's the yearbook company there.
Johnston's.
Yeah, Boston's is big.
I had friends who worked there.
But in the State Digest, otherwise, the long legal fight over whether a Texas death row inmate could face lethal injection ended after the Supreme Court ruled the 59-year-old man is intellectually disabled and thus cannot be put to death. So that's an interesting ruling.
I'm intellectually disabled. So.
That's we won't go there.
Ah.
Anyway, then
Boss
let's
man.
see. That's an important ruling. There's the Southwest story you mentioned. Elizabeth Warren, I don't know why she's on the State Digest, but she is. Houston police chief announced officers will no longer use no-knock warrants just weeks after a drug raid on a home in which 2 suspects were fatally shot and 5 undercover officers were injured.
That's because that guy also got an illegal warrant. Lied on his warrant.
Yeah.
What's a no-knock warrant?
That
They
They
just
just
bust
knocked the
in?
door
they just,
down.
they just boom bust in. They don't knock.
Wow.
They
Yeah,
don't say,
yeah.
they don't
That's
go,
rude.
they don't go police.
You
They
don't. You don't
And
want to
then-
be the subject of
and
that.
the argument is that's been controversial over the years because the people inside will argue they didn't know who was busting in, so they get the grounds to shoot.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily hold up in court, but you can see the case.
Well,
Um,
I covered a case in Victoria
Yeah.
where they did that at a Halloween costume party, and some guy had muskets on his costume. So when he thought it was part of the gag, and when he pointed the guns at them, the officers fired on him and wounded him, not fatally, but I remember that.
You don't want to bring a musket to a gunfight.
Better not to a knife fight.
And then let's see, anything else big? That looks like about it. That's an interesting story about Harvey recovery. About Galveston paper was written about a guy who spent 24 hours in his attic when Harvey flooded his home in Dickinson.
Lucky his attic didn't come down.
Yeah, apparently now he's got a new home that's 15 feet higher off the ground. That's good. I still would be pretty nervous staying there during Harvey in
No,
Galveston.
if those stilts are really going to hold a house up.
Yeah, against the water.
Like if a major storm came in too, man.
I mean, you might have a good shot of coming back to it being intact, but I sure would definitely not stay there during a storm. If I got to be 15 high on the stilts, I'm out of there.
Can you imagine how much it would rock back and forth in the creek, and every time a good gust of wind gets you?
That would scare me
I'd leave pretty
to
quick.
death.
I'm sure it's not made out of wood.
No, I'm sure it's concrete or whatever, but still, I would
If that wind gets underneath your house,
Yeah,
that's really going to
lift it off there. Yeah, what's it?
Yeah.
How's
What's
what's keeping it there in place?
You
might
know, I know they have
houseboat
those-
soon.
Those construction rules they got to follow for hurricane areas, but
I'm sure Galveston County has that.
Well, anything national, internationally to talk about? We do have our editorial board meeting to go to next, so I'm not. If there's anything big.
Meghan Markle's in New York having a baby shower.
Well, she's
Yeah.
left.
In,
She already
I
left.
thought she's come and gone already.
in other
I
celebrity
thought the
news,
shower was today.
other celebrity news, why is this actor? I mean, I get why it would be a mention, but it's like leading the news day after day. This actor I've never heard of, who's
I'm glad you said that
Yeah.
because this is scary.
yeah,
Because when it first happened,
yeah.
I said out loud, "Why is this news?"
Yeah, I just don't like
And-
celebrity news.
And of course, yeah, it is gay bashing.
But
Then I thought that happens every day in this country.
it was gay
Does it-
bashing and racial motivated.
well, and
But
a,
that-
and
again,
a
that's
celebrity
supposedly.
That still
That's a
happens
celebrity.
probably.
on a show I've never seen.
You're right. I've never heard of this actor.
Empire.
And
I don't-
let's just be conservative here. Let's say it happens 100 times a day in this country. Okay, there's a homosexual who's probably being beaten right now because of his sexual or her sexual orientation. That doesn't make national news. Okay.
But the celebrity
part does.
Well, I guess
he uses a bigger platform.
Okay. Well, he now, but yesterday, the table turned on him.
And now he's being somehow accused of staging it,
Being
or
complicit,
something, complicit in it, or something.
And staging it. Okay, and then I said, okay, now that's national news.
Right.
Is it? I mean, I think the whole story is like a brief. I mean, when it started and went in another brief, it just is not that interesting to me. I mean, I don't. But it's not about whether it's gay or not. It's just celebrity news, as I find tedious and not very important. I guess you can make a case for how it's some larger social statement or whatever celebrity news is, but like Meghan Markle, same thing. I don't care if she's having a baby or not. I don't care. I know people do, but I'm like, aren't there more important issues?
Any make-believe or real infighting with the royals either.
Yeah, well,
I really don't care. They live in a different world, and I'll never be part of it.
I'm out of touch with a lot of the readers on that one because people eat up this celebrity news. But it just seems like, well, we don't have any celebrities in Victoria except for Brother Gary.
But
so,
but now,
so I don't have to worry about it as a community newspaper editor. I don't have to worry about.
But if he was complicit in this will set back. This will be just an example of his desperation, and he will be ostracized.
I mean, if he made this up, I mean, I'm just sad. Anyway.
So let's just say this guy was from Victoria, though.
Yeah.
Would it be news then?
Well, yeah, because of proximity.
Yeah, it's proximity.
Proximity, I know, but
so this guy's not.
Well, that's true. That's true. You can say that. Like we wrote about Dale Earnhardt's wife, who's from Victoria. We've written about
but that's
Matt
still
Prokop when he
proximity.
brought the gal from Modern Family here to eat at Hungry Jack's. So I'm not saying never write celebrity news. Don't get me wrong. Johnny Depp. I wrote about him when he was fishing in Rockport.
Oh, was it Johnny Depp? I thought it was Matthew McConaughey.
No, it was Johnny Depp.
Okay.
But it's such a saturation of it. And,
I think the overbearing news all the time on celebrities makes them more important than they really are. And it gives them a
we wrote a little blurb about when the Game of Thrones actor came to town. Remember that too? Was that at
Jason Momoa? We were talking about that last night.
Yeah. But anyway, we do need a poll question. So everybody's got any questions you want to ask our readers? We ask a good financial question. You get any thoughts on that? What should we ask our readers about tomorrow?
Do you care about this case? Is it being overplayed because of its Hollywood status?
I'm not sure people will get the full context of what we just talked about in our question.
Do you plan to see the Victoria Symphony this Saturday?
Well, it's going to be a small percentage that says yes on that one too. But
I don't know. I think this is the concert.
Are you concerned about all oil field flaring? Because of health reason?
Or you just want to stand next to one and just breathe on?
I just want the dollars from it. I don't care about the other stuff.
You don't, huh? You just want the dollars regardless of whether it kills.
How do people in
Luling
get through that?
It's probably the same way as people really got used to the smell. You know what I mean?
The feedlots, yeah.
No, but I mean, driving through Luling, you could just feel it in your lungs.
Yeah, but when you live there, you're used to it, probably.
Oh, no way.
And chances are you're getting money from one of those pumps.
How do they have people moving into that city?
Oh, here's nationally. Bernie Sanders is running for president.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
He announced today. But apparently, yeah, and if he will be 79 if he, at the time the next next oath of office is administered.
Anyway, well, I don't have. Everybody's got a good poll question, but we'll answer our trivia question, and then we'll sign off. Who was the first president to have a telephone installed in the White House? We guessed Grant.
Ronald Reagan.
Pavagot. Ronald guessed Rutherford B. Hayes. Tony guessed
Theodore Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Oh, well, Pat, you did look it up. It is Rutherford B. Hayes. Hayes had a telephone installed in the White House telegraph room in 1877.
So was that the old White House or is that the current White House?
What?
A phone wasn't present in the Oval Office until President Hoover's administration. So the White House, the phone was in the telegraph room in 1877, but not until Hoover is it actually in the Oval Office?
Oh.
So there's a two-part little trick question there. So Rutherford B. Hayes, he was president right before Grant, so I wasn't too far off, was I? Yeah, we were close. Who remembers Rutherford B. Hayes? Nobody does. Nobody does. That's that fuzzy period of my presidential memory. What else did Hayes accomplish besides?
I don't know.
Well, he
What about
probably messed up
what about
Reconstruction.
William Henry Harrison?
Really?
Nobody ever talks about William Henry Harrison.
Nobody talks about Calvin Coolidge either.
Yeah.
Oh well, wait a minute.
Nobody
I worked
talks
in a
about
town
Rita
that was
Coolidge.
named after him.
Not anymore. They used to.
Calvin Coolidge.
Yeah. All right.
Last
Well,
night on Fallon, they're doing all this stuff about President's Day,
yeah.
and they named the last 10 presidents in order. Can y'all do that?
The last 10?
I
I
don't
think I can
know.
do that.
Yeah.
Let's have a contest. Obviously, you got Trump.
Oh, we
No,
got
you gotta go back.
Eisenhower.
Then they gotta you go backwards. You can't do
No,
this
you gotta
way?
do it. They did it the other
Well, how do you get to 10?
You gotta- you
you
gotta
gotta know. You gotta know what 10 is. I can
Well,
go
okay.
backwards.
Let's go
Okay,
from
go backward.
FDR.
You can go
let's go.
backwards.
Let's go from FDR.
Okay, well, you can do that.
FDR.
Yeah.
Truman.
Yeah.
Wasn't Eisenhower after
Don't
Truman?
know. You're telling us.
Yeah. FDR, Truman, Eisenhower,
Then
Kennedy,
Kennedy.
then Johnson,
Then Johnson.
then Nixon,
Nixon.
then Ford,
Ford.
then Reagan,
Reagan.
then
Bush.
Bush, one, and then Clinton.
Wait a minute. Carter's in there somewhere.
Oh, ooh, I skipped over Carter, didn't I? Carter was right after Ford. Yeah, Carter,
Yeah.
Ford, Carter,
Then
Reagan. Sorry, thank you. Ford, and
Bush,
then
Clinton, Bush,
then
Obama,
then the
Trump.
second Bush with Obama, Trump. Yeah, I don't know what number that is.
Looks like Meredith was.
Meredith wants like the flower needs the rain.
Like terribly.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll sign off. But if you have any
Oh my God.
suggestions, news tips, call us in the newsroom at
Musical purgatory.
574-1222. Peace out.
Musical hell.